What do you get when you cross Transport Fever 2 with a major international competition? You get a YouTube series that no one will forget for a long, long time. Welcome to the Cinders Cup. Hello everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to Transport Fever 2, and welcome to a brand new series. This is the Cinders Cup, put together by Stephen Spry, featuring myself and 4 other creators. Couldn't remember how many of us there were there for a second. 3 Brits, 2 Australians, and as you might be able to tell if you're a cricket fan, the Cinders Cup is of course a reference to the Ashes, the legendary cricket match. It takes place between Australia and England every 18 months, I think it is. But it does change quite a lot. I think there was one point where there was like 2 in a year. But anyway, we're here on this incredible map, Calabria, built by Stephen Spry. If you want to see the full map tour, I suggest you check out the video on his channel. I'm not going to dwell too much on that right now because I don't want to steal his thunder. It's an incredible map. I've had a look around it. Honestly, it's one of the best maps I've seen. The level of detail in certain areas, like down here, this station that he's built here, looks awesome. The way the freight lines dive underneath to go to the freight terminal is incredible. This little peninsula here that sticks out is awesome. I'm going to use the word awesome a lot. The old wagons that he's got here in the sidings, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. And even things like the industry placement here, these all look like they're almost like individual warehouses of a single factory. It's so well done. And this is just one city on a map of 4 big cities and loads of major towns as well. So it's an incredible job. I can't wait to see what we can all come up with on this. It's going to be so freaking cool. There are rules in this tournament, believe it or not. Basically, as we've said, it's Great Britain or England versus Australia. I think we're all English. The rules are quite simple. We have test matches, which we're taking part in now. The winner of the test scores a point for their country, and then they get certain perks moving forward in the series. Again, I think Stephen's done a video that explains the rules properly, so I won't go over them too much. But this is the first test. We have basically a blank canvas, besides the stuff that Stephen's already put on the map here. And we can choose any region that we want. I'm not 100% clear on all of the rules here, so I'm going to play it a little bit safe in this first test, just to make sure. But yeah, this is the first test. So, start date is the 5th of November 1861. Yes, it is. We will play until the 10th of November 1863, so a period of 2 years. We have the game speed set at 1/4. I'm not going to touch anything there in case I accidentally progress time. Stephen suggests that we build on pause at the start of the round. Believe me, I will be taking that advice on board after my test runs. No loan can be used, so we have £10 million here. We're not allowed to borrow any money or whatsoever. You will also see me a lot during this video checking this. This is how we decide who wins the first test. So each player only has 10 million to spend for this test to build complete and or partial profitable supply chains within any region of their choice. So that's the bit where I feel like I'm not 100% clear on the rules, because I feel like once I've selected a region, I can't then select a second region and start building there as well. Not that I think I have the funds to do that, of course, but would have been cool to like link St Albans up to like, I don't know, Harwich or something. But yeah, they're separate regions. You can see what region is what. St Albans is the main town here, the main city. SA there means St Albans. That's the simplicity of that. You cannot modify any of the train stations. So these lovely train stations, which again, so well built, so well designed, they look freaking cool. We can't change them. So I can't add another platform to this or anything like that. Not that I'd want to, because actually this is pretty cool. There's no reason why I would want to change it. So what's the plan here then? The idea is the player with the highest company value at the end of their run wins the first test and scores the first point for their country. Now right now, I believe this is the one we're looking at, 24.012 million. That is going to drop significantly throughout this run. Stephen has designed this so that right now the network is not profitable. It hemorrhages money. If I go back to the finances here, you can see that we've had money added to get it back up to 10 million. But for the most part, this network hemorrhages money. The goal is to try and arrest that hemorrhaging. Easier said than done. The reason why we're building on paused is because as soon as I hit play, this number here will decrease rapidly. So the plan is to get everything in and set up and running whilst the game's paused, and I can utilize the maximum money available to me. Once that's done, we're going to hit unpause and we're going to watch this free fall into the negatives, and the company value is going to absolutely tank, and I'm probably going to finish 5th out of 5, but that's fine. I've done some test runs. I've tried to start in as many different regions as possible, but ultimately I had a favourite, and those of you who know me, if you've been watching my City Bus Manager series, you will know that I was always going to choose St Albans for a number of reasons. First of all, I'm from just down the road from St Albans, a little town called Hatfield. That's my home, that's where I grew up. I don't live there now, but that's where I'm from. I always love going back whenever I can, and also St Albans is actually a pretty good setup for what I want to do. If you've been watching my From Steam to Electricity series as well, first of all, hello. If you're joining the channel from the other channels, it's very nice to see you. I'm M4J. I try to build things. I tend to fail. If you've watched my other Transport Fever 2 series that I've got going on at the moment, you'll know that I love my long truck routes. And by the end of this, we're going to have some incredibly long truck routes, which I'm very excited by. So I've got this plan. I've got a whole list of notes here that I'm intending to utilize for this video. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm very excited to see what everyone else comes up with. If anyone manages to get the trains to work properly, I'm very much looking forward to that. This is a lovely tunnel, by the way. I've just noticed that. Stop wasting time, Mark. Start building. So, I have a long list of things that I want to do. I've got where I want to build my truck stops, how many vehicles on each line, how many lines. I wish I'd bullet pointed this better because I can't see where each new point starts. It's fine. So, we're going to start at St Albans. We've already established that. So, all the places with SA or St Albans in their name, I can use. That's my area. That's where I choose to work. Whether it works or not, well, I guess we'll find out. So, first things first. Build large truck stops, 3 bays or more, at St Albans Sawmill, St Albans Machine Factory, St Albans Construction Materials Plant, and Newland Food Plant. So, the first one was St Albans Sawmill, which is here. So I need to build a big... I'm just looking already to see how much more I can optimize this. So before, on my test run, I built the truck stop here, but I'm now tempted to build it over here, or maybe even over here, and then have vehicles just come straightish through. No, that's not going to work really, is it? So this is the first expense. It's quite expensive. I'm going to try and make this as cheap as possible. Is it cheaper if I build it over here? I think the answer to that is no. That's the other thing, is the contours here. Every city is built on a pretty big slope, but you don't really realise that until you're trying to build something attached. So I think I want a 4th one here, because this is going to be quite a busy... Oh, it's so expensive. And actually, that is cheaper, and it also connects up with that. Not that I can use that right now, but once that's available to me, that's not a bad place to do it. So I think I'm going to commit 130,000 there. Right, so that one's done. St Albans Machine Factory and St Albans Construction Materials Plant, which is over here. Now, I wanted to try and build this close enough that it connects up to the steel mill as well, but then I realised that that's not a good idea. So I need to get it as cheap as possible, that also connects up both industries, and I think that is as good as it's going to get. So the other one is Newland Food Plant, which is all the way down here. And I'm going to just do 3 here, and I'm also going to build it on this little spur here. So 100 grand, sinking into that. It's a very expensive game, this one. Actually, have I built that in the right spot? Already I'm thinking I've built that incorrectly. I have built that incorrectly. I actually need it closer to town, and you'll see why in a minute. So I need you to go there. And actually, that's cheaper, so that's kind of a win. St Albans Forest number 3, which is this one over here. I'm going to build you. Having 2 could work for this, but I think in the grand scheme of things, having 1 to start with is cheaper to build and cheaper to run. So then you go to the sawmill, then you go to the machine factory and the construction materials plant. Then you go to the quarry, which is over here. And again, in terms of cheapness to build and run, this is actually more optimal. I think that's probably the best we're going to get here. And you can already see how this line is starting to form. Just want to check that this definitely does connect. Yes, it does. Good stuff. Right. So it goes, Route 1 goes from the forest to the sawmill to the machine factory to the construction materials plant as well. Then the quarry, then back to the construction materials plant, then to the food plant, then to the farm, which is down here. This is me frantically trying to make a line that's profitable at all times. That's not bad. We could do that. Okay, so this one also needs to be a tour, I think, because we're going to have a couple of things dropped off here. Can I fit you in this gap? Yes, I can, which is actually quite useful, although it's going to slow down significantly. What would be better is if I could have fit it in this gap, which I can. Okay, so that connects quite a lot of Didcot up to this, which is good news. This is how this line works. We pick up logs, we take them over here, we turn it into planks. Those planks get brought down here to the machines factory. Meanwhile, truck comes over here, picks up stone, brings it back here, drops it off at the same place here, turns it into construction materials. Those construction materials then get picked up and taken all the way down here. And the reason this needed to connect to the town is because these buildings accept construction materials. So we'll do that and we'll drop those off. We then come down here to pick up grain. That grain then comes back up here, turned into food, and then that food is brought up here to Didcot, where it's turned into energy, I assume. And then the truck runs empty just this short distance here to load up with logs again for the next trip. Meanwhile, over here, it runs empty for just this section as well. So the idea is, apart from the first truck, where there won't be any construction materials or food, all following trucks, actually there might not be any planks either, but all following trucks should have stuff on board that will earn us money. So you are going to carry logs. We're then going to drop off up here. Now I'm interested to see what route it takes. That's actually optimal. That's good. We're going to do this. You're going to drop off those logs. You're going to pick up planks. You're then going to bring those planks down to here. And again, the route is basically the same route, so that's fine. 1, 2, 3. The alternative terminals thing in stops, that is by far my favourite update this game has received. There is one coming soon. Apparently it's the final update for the game as well, which is kind of sad, but that will add the ability to upgrade bridges and tunnels without having to rebuild them. And I think station tracks too, which is also a fantastic addition to the game. But I still think the alternative terminals is my favourite one. That was such a game changer in every sense. Right. Do this. Do this. Come down here. Load up with grain. Come here. Load up with food. Which is there. And then finally up to Didcot, where you unload everything. Good. So you are St. Albans Freight Loop 1 M4J. According to my notes here, to get a good frequency of around 30-ish seconds, I need 175 vehicles minimum to operate this line. So we'll visit that in a second. I was wondering if there was a way that I could utilise the existing depot to save money, but the nearest one is over here in St. Albans, and there's nothing. Apart from the quarry, there's no raw industry over here. The nearest one is Didcot, and to be honest, because it's the first stop on the line, I have a funny feeling it's going to use that one anyway. So this one goes from St. Albans Forest number 2, which is this one here. So again, we need to add a stop, cheap and cheerful if possible. So that's 50 grand there, 49,000. Let's do that. So it's going to start here. It comes down to the sawmill, and actually that is a better route than what it used to be, which was snaking through here. So that I'm quite happy with. From there, it then runs to the tool factory, which is here. 77,000. That's quite expensive. I don't think it's going to get any. No, that's definitely not cheaper. I don't think this side's going to be any cheaper. So I'm just going to squeeze it in this gap here. And then it comes back. Now over here is where it was originally dropping off. That does still work actually. But I'm not sure entirely of the coverage. So I am tempted to just build a second stop. Maybe even on this main road and cover all bases. But I do need this main road for something in the future as well. So maybe... I think for now, we'll just bring it back over here. So that's the second loop. So St Albans Forest number 2. St Albans Sawmill, St Albans Tool Factory, St Albans Sawmill. Ah, there is another one afterwards. St Albans Machine Factory and St Albans Construction Materials Plant. And then St Albans. So I think a stop here. Which does work well for the tools as well. Yeah. And then that does put me on the right road to head back up to the forest. Okay, so I'm going to put a stop here. No, am I? No, because that's going to block that. Maybe here. Right, we'll do that. Reason being, so this line is going to do this. We'll make you red. So you're going to start up here. You're going to come... Actually, first of all, you're going to pick up logs. You're then going to come down to here, where you're going to switch to planks. And again, you can use all of these. You're then going to come over here, where you're going to turn those planks into tools. There we go. And then I think we are going to go back via this to get to this. Or we just stop here and then head down this way. And that's not a bad idea either. But I think actually, do you know what? I know it adds a little bit of extra journey, but I am going to do this still because I think that will work best. There we go. And then over here, where we're going to switch to construction materials. And then back here again, where we drop it all off. Cool. That line, by the way, needs 60 vehicles minimum. It's crazy, right? We're not even done. We've still got more. So the third line, St Albans Coal Mine number 3, which is this one over here. Again, if I can get a nice, cheap and cheerful stop in, that would be lovely. I think it's this side. Where do we go from here? We go to Didcot Gasworks, which is that way. So yeah, over here. Get it as close there as possible. There we go. So it goes St Albans Coal Mine number 3, Didcot Gasworks, where we've already got that stop in place. Didcot Gasworks, and then Didcot, where it accepts fuel. Now I'm tempted to actually build this. So I almost need to go from here to here again, which is frustrating. I guess, okay, this might work. If I was to build it over here, that covers quite a lot of bases. If I did that, and then we come down here, where we collect from... I feel really bad ruining these lovely fields, but needs must. There we go. And then from there, it comes down to Newland Food Plant. And then I think from there, it just heads over to the coal mine. So again, it's only this last stage here where it runs empty, which is good. Let me just check. St Albans Coal Mine, Didcot Gasworks, Didcot where it accepts fuel, St Albans Farm number 5, Newland Food Plant. And again, we need 60 vehicles minimum to get the right frequency. There we go. Okay, so you are St Albans Freight Loop number 3, even though you don't actually go to St Albans. So I suppose I can just call you Didcot Freight Loop. So those are the 3 main ones. I do have more, but I think before we worry about that, first thing I should probably do is get a vehicle depot built around here somewhere and actually get the first stage of vehicles running. So it says use Hatton Coachworks, not the vehicle depot. So we're not using this, we're using this, which again I think is a lovely little mod when you look at it. Very impressive. Fits the part quite nicely. I got it to 16,000 just now. These are like literal bean counters trying to get it. I think 18,000 is fine. Right. buy vehicles. So I want... So 175, which is insane. That's 2.3 million. This is where the money starts to go. Oh, and that's not even... You can max out at 100. That's cool. So yeah, we need to do this. And then you are Freight Loop 1. And then I need to buy another 75. Freight Loop 1. This is where it all starts to go wrong. Then we hop over to St. Albans itself. And we'll grab this one. And we need to get 60 of these for Freight Loop 2. And then we hop back over here and buy another 60 for Freight Loop 3. Now, believe it or not, that's not me done. So I've got this whole section here of if you still have some money left over, which it's starting to look like I don't, but Aldridge is a good place to work. So you can put a little truck stop down here, a little truck stop over here, and then something in town, which I think for this... Oh, wouldn't it have been great if, and it may still be possible, or it is somewhat possible, where can I build this? Problem is you can't really put these on the same road, because that's not going to make any money. So I think I might just do an end of the road thing here. Make it as cheap as possible. There. I also don't have a depot here, which is slightly annoying. But I do need a depot here for something else that is on the plan. So we're going to stick you there. So first one, you're going to pick up coal. Second one, you're going to pick up fuel. Now I have no idea what the ratio is on this, so I'm not even going to try and guess. Aldridge, loop, M4J. We'll make this red again. I should actually put it all in blue. M4J blue, if I'm going to do this properly. So let's just grab this a sec, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. I think like 5 even would be enough for this. 119,000. Aldridge loop. 52 frequency. Yeah, that's actually not enough. Oh, it's so expensive. So I'm down to my last 1.6 million. That's where the money goes, you see? That is where the money goes. So I think the last thing then is, if funds available, build bus route between Didcot and Newland. Well, that is something that we can do. So if I was to just get some bus stops, and I think we'll go with one at this end of town. Actually, maybe one over here. Or we just do a loop, actually, which could work better. So let's say we did a stop there, a stop there, and then another stop there. I think that actually covers all of town. So I think if we did a stop here and here, that covers this half of town. And then if I just did one over here, that covers that half of town. Or if I come over here, and then if we have one there, and then if we also have one up here. Let's start at Newland. And we'll do this. Like so. So I need to actually grab you, put you there. Now I have no idea what vehicles we need to carry these. Probably cheap. Cheap and cheerful. They're all the same speed. In fact, I think they're all the same price. Oh no, the Troika is cheaper. It does carry one person less, but that's fine. That's probably what's going to kill me. Frequency 126 seconds. What's that? Every 2 minutes. The rate of 17. Oy, oy, oy. Not great. Okay, but that's done. And then build a bus route between St. Albans and Oakham. So St. Albans is here. Oakham is up here. So the bus, I believe, comes in from this side. Yes, it does. So if I was to put a bus stop there, and then if we follow the line into town, that tells us where we need to build our other stop. So I think that's actually already covered, which is excellent. So we can now build a line that goes from St. Albans here, up to here, and then all the way up the hill to Oakham. Like so, and then back into St. Albans again. There we go. And then the final thing... oh, I've got to populate that one first. Now, again, this is where the money's just going to disappear. So if I pin you for a second, grab this. So I think we might use the Troikas again, purely because of how cheap they are. These ones are good. The extra passenger could be good. These are the same price, but I think we'll have to go with the troikas for the money. If I can afford 20... Yes. And then the final one was build a bus route between St Albans and Aldridge. So Aldridge is all the way over here, where we've already been. We've actually got a depot here that we could potentially use, but I think that might complicate things a little. Now I'm going to try and be clever here as well. So Aldridge, I don't want my buses to interact with the trucks, so I'm going to put that there instead. And that's going to be our little loop. I guess here and here, that also serves the sawmill. So we'll have people take the bus to work, which is good. And then I guess, yeah, that's one there that we can use. And then it will come down into the station. Perfect. So this one I might be clever and try and have vehicles from either side. So if I can put 10 here to Aldridge. So that's a frequency of 4 minutes. But if I was to then get another 10 from here, I'm hoping it recognizes. So what's that down to? 111 seconds. I'm hoping it recognizes that one of these stops is closer and actually sends people to that instead. Sends vehicles to that. Those were my notes. That was my plan. That was my big plan. I know there's people out there now thinking, seriously, that was your plan? But we'll see how well this works. If I now hit go, we've got 2 years and 5 days to cover in the next 15 minutes or so. Oh, what happened there? To try and make this successful. So already, over here, that is striking up, which is good. The other problem I suppose I've got is the fact that I've now got like 200 vehicles coming out of this one depot. That probably wasn't my finest move, actually. But never mind. Do we have people waiting here? Yes, we do, which is good. And yeah, people going to Newland, already 7% of them are using my public transport. Now, obviously, we can't connect to Bolsover, so that needs to remain as is. The other thing we could have done over here, I suppose, was link up these industries, which I guess Newland, yeah, that's a missed opportunity. We could have brought people down to the food plant, but never mind. So yeah, 26 seconds, that should work very nicely. And then when the fuel comes back, that should also work very nicely indeed. And now we sit and we wait. So that already, the trains are making us money. So there are passenger trains currently operating, but there are no freight trains operating. Again, I wasn't sure if I was actually allowed to do that or not. So our value here is going to start dropping. It was 24 million at the start. It's now 22.8. And you see this number here is actually decreasing quite a lot. But once these here start making money, if I hit ×4 speed now, this should start picking up, which would be nice. What's the ratio? So 2 to 1. So yeah, half of what's transported in this direction is going to be transported back. Up at Oakham. Oh yeah, that's good. We're up and rolling. We got all our vehicles here, including this one. This hopefully won't block up the whole road, but you never know. Where is... Ah, here they come. I was about to say, where are our vehicles? But yeah, frequency of 29 seconds. If I check this one, it should be 32, so approximately the same. If I check this one over here, 36. That's a little bit slower, but I think previously this stop was closer, and then this one was where it was as well, so that made things a little bit easier. Did I check these? 80 seconds. That's not terrible. And actually, a number of people that we've got here, I'm kind of happy with how this is looking. Good stuff. People tell me not to do this, but I'm going to check this anyway, just to see where we're at. So these right now are all massive loss makers, but that should pick up. So the 6 lines that I've added, basically, yeah, the loss makers right now, but it will change. So already, I think that's dropped by like 100,000. These two should start dropping. The buses, yeah. Actually, one of our bus lines, oh, it's down there now. But look how full they are. Not bad, actually. The buses were a very late addition to the plan. So that's why that one kind of feels a little bit slapdash compared to some of the other plans. But actually, it's okay. Okay, so I'm going to keep snapping away with screenshots now while we wait for this to finish. So we're basically in the home stretch now. These vehicles are spreading themselves out very nicely. If I get one... Actually, vehicles crossing the bridge here would be nice. How can I do that? Like this. I'm sure there was a whole horde of them just now. They've all disappeared. Right, that was one in that direction. If I can get one here. Zoom in a little way. Tilt down a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's good. That's the stuff. And then move this way a smidge. There we go. I think that worked. Slightly off to the side, but never mind. So we could... I mean, this is unsalvageable. But we could be looking at lines that are profitable at least. Which is the goal of this first test. So the freight loop, it's coming there. It's coming. Slowly but surely. We are actually at the stage now where we're picking up stone as well. Which is good. This is not going to be making the machines like I thought it would. Which is unfortunate. Likewise, this isn't making the steel like I hoped it would. But that's by the by. Yeah, this is fine. I'm probably the least prepared of all of the competitors in this series. I'll happily admit to that. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Making a profit at this stage is basically impossible. I think Steven said only one person... Oh, I need to speed up time. Only one person actually turned the company around and started making money. And I don't think that person's even in this series. So, yeah. It was always an uphill struggle. These lines will eventually make money. Like I said, if you've seen my other series... you'll know that these do eventually make, and not just a little bit of money, they'll make a ton of money. And I was considering ways to load onto boats instead, and like get the logs here over to this way, stick it on a boat, bring it into town. There is actually a road there now, there wasn't before, or I could have connected here and had a truck stop here, bring it up, turn it into planks, bring it down, maybe just direct, and then go from there, and use boats to do a lot of the heavy haulage. But I think that would have still been quite expensive and time consuming to set up. Whereas this, if you actually look at the steady flow of vehicles that we've got running along here now, the only issue is there's a bit of a bottleneck here. And I think it's because of this road junction. They try not to block the junctions. So we're not even fully utilising this station. Which I guess is a bit short-sighted on my part. Although we're kind of utilising it. Looking at it. It's just annoying. I should have built an extra building here as well. Because we actually don't have any room for planks on the second line. Unless it's a direct transfer. How have you done that? Come on, people. So this is probably an epic defeat for M4J in the first round here. Hopefully not for Britain. But if I have let down my my countrymen, I do apologise. And to all British residents, I do apologise for my lack of ability here with this. It's a bit of fun though, isn't it? It's a bit of fun. The main thing is, like, the lines themselves are actually doing better than they were in testing, which is good. And I think the first loop here, yeah, the Aldridge loop is now profitable. The Didcot freight loop is profitable. And these are so close now. In fact, all the buses, yep, profitable. Right, I've now reached the hour mark, so I think I've already broken a rule, unless I do some editing, which, if you're watching this and you're wondering why I've said that when we're only like 45 minutes in, there was some editing. There was some editing. But, yeah, vehicles are running, things are going good. There's not that much traffic in the town here. Again, in my test run, I had a whole queue all the way along this road, because I had the stop here originally, coming off of this junction, which made things a little bit more tricksy. This is all running smooth, which is good to see. We've got, that's the wrong vehicle. We've got a steady flow of stone here, which is creating a nice steady flow of construction materials. But again, none on this line, or occasional ones on this line, which means that poor old Newland here isn't really getting, well, it's getting 44 out of 76, which actually that's not too bad. And then Didcot is doing very well in terms of everything. This is all the grain that's being brought down here. How are you doing? Yeah, you're doing okay. We got a nice queue of food, and that is for the for the freight loop. Didcot's not getting food, but I don't think Didcot's meant to get food. No, Didcot is meant to get food, isn't it? Yes, it is. Just slowly. Which is fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. These are working better than they were in testing. I'm actually quite relaxed about that, because at least I've done my bit. I've made the line work better here than I did in my test run. It's just unfortunate that it's not working as well as I needed it to actually make the money back. That was really my goal. I wanted to be that guy that sort of swooped in and just was like easy, made all the money. And then everyone else is just like, how the hell did he do that? But yeah, no, not today. Not this time. We needed more buses as well, actually. That looks like something that we've potentially lapsed on. That probably would have been a good money maker. I mean, this is doing very well for us. It's just they only carry 3 at a time. Yeah, no, I'm genuinely pretty happy with how well this is all turned out. I don't know how I'm going to stand amongst my fellow competitors. Yeah, I've had fun. That's the main thing. I've had fun. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what everyone else does. If you want to see it as well, there is a playlist. I'm going to try and remember to link it in the description. If I forget, do remind me, where you can check out everyone's videos in the order that they're uploaded. So feel free to go and check that out. It's got the introductory video by Stephen as well. And I believe he's doing the results videos in there as well. Like a breakdown as to what everyone did. Map overviews possibly. All that good stuff. So hopefully you go check those out. If you like the channels, hit the subscribe button on them as well. Tell them I sent you. That's always very nice to do. And yeah, I'm basically just killing time now until we hit November. And then I've got to try and chop quite a lot of this video off. I'm already seeing different ways that I would have improved this massively. But it is what it is. I still think, as a first attempt on camera, this is good. And I wasn't going to cheat and do multiple attempts and choose the best one. That's not me. So we'll take the epic failure. We'll move forward. We'll see what everyone else does. Hopefully, I'm the only one who's chosen St. Albans. If all 5 of us have chosen St. Albans, that'll be a shame. Okay, we're coming towards the end of October, which means we are now just 20-ish days away from the end of this run. Let me know in the comments down below how you think I've gotten on. Whether that's my fellow competitors laughing at my expense, which they're perfectly within their rights to do, or if it's new people joining from my my fellow competitors' channels. Very warm welcome to you all if you are here. I'm really hoping this series does well. It's such a good idea. The fact that it's not really been done before as well makes it very exciting to be part of. Kind of annoyed that these two aren't making money now, and I think this is the problem. If I'd built a spur road across here maybe when I had the money, I should have checked to see how the vehicles were coming through. Something told me it was going to come this way for some reason, and it's not. But it's fine. Also, the tail now seems to be over here, so maybe it will start making money again soon. We have got food waiting to head to Didcot, I assume. Yeah, over here. And then they run empty back over to here. And in fact, it seems like the first lot have now completed their run and are starting the second run, which is good. Pause. I've gone over time. That's not good. Hopefully I don't get disqualified for that. If I now open this up, this is basically where we ended. Minus 3.6. Probably a little bit different from that, but yeah, it is what it is. Not the best run. I think the one I did, the third test run I did, ended at around 1 million. Positive 1 million. But I think overall, if I do my own quick sum up here, I think if I'd have spread the vehicles out a bit more evenly, we might have been able to pick up money quicker. And I think that's one of the reasons why these aren't making money right now. Even this one down here. Purely because things aren't spread out quite enough. So that would have been one thing I would change. The other little additions and things that I talked about just now as well, I would do differently as well. But it is what it is. Okay, so like I said, not the best. Minus 3.6. Could have been better, could have been worse. I'm going to quickly save. So I'm just going to do rename it. First test. Just so you can see that what I'm saving here is hopefully what Stephen will be loading up for his recap video. And I'll wrap this one up here. Thank you very much for watching. This is the start of an exciting collaboration series that I believe oh my god, words, that I believe runs until the end of the year now. So there's plenty of content coming up. Check out the playlist, which I will remember to link in the description. And if I don't, for goodness sake, please tell me. It will come up on the end card at the end as well. I'll make sure of that. So if you miss it in the description, click the end card and it will take you to the playlist. Check out all my fellow competitors' videos, channels, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And if you haven't liked and subscribed this one, oh my god, what is that? If you haven't liked this video, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure to do that as well. And if you have, thank you for your continued support. Yeah, my outro is going to be really weird in this series because I'm going to be trying to throw in loads of other stuff as well. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm off to take a cold shower and think about all the things I could have done differently. And until next time, I will see you soon.